The Gorge is the perfect example of the usual slop you can expect from straight-to-streaming movies. While there are some streaming movies that break the mold and end up being interesting, the majority of them follow the pattern of featuring big names that you recognize along with an original and creative idea that ends up falling flat on its face. When I originally saw the trailers for this movie, I thought that the idea it presented was actually pretty interesting and looked like it could have some genuine promise, but unfortunately, this movie takes all of its creative ideas and dumps them in favor of being a generic, by the numbers action movie. The beginning of this film actually wasn't that bad, and I wondered if the negative reviews were being a little too harsh, but the remainder of the movie quickly devolved into a confused mess to the point where it feels like two different movies that were horrifically fused together. So let's get into the disappointing mess that is The Gorge. I'm going to be talking about spoilers for the remainder of this video, so if you haven't seen the movie and want to, now is your chance to go do that and then come back to this video. The story follows two snipers in charge of protecting the world from strange creatures called the Hollow Men, who appear from a gorge in the earth. Levi, the American sniper played by Miles Teller, quickly forms a relationship with Drasa, the Russian sniper played by Anya Taylor-Joy. Things turn sour when both find themselves trapped in the gorge and now have to find their way back while unraveling a major conspiracy. I'll start with the one positive I have. By far the best part of the film for me was the chemistry between Levi and Drasa, and while I have seen better from these two before, both Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy still provide some pretty good performances. Now onto the negatives. You'd think that the secret of what's in the gorge would be a bigger plot point, but the movie blatantly shows off the creatures in the gorge pretty early on in the film. Once you see the creatures up front, a lot of the mystery and intrigue disappears. It would have been better if this movie took the Jaws approach of allowing us to see the Hollow Men but only in shadows and brief flashes of gunfire, instead of literally shining a spotlight on them. All of this isn't helped out by the underwhelming design of the Hollow Men themselves, which just appear as generic tree people. There are other designs of the hollow creatures in this movie, which are a bit better, but not by much. You know the Skulltulas from The Legend of Zelda? Yeah, they kinda just have those in this film. The moment this movie starts to go downhill is as soon as the two snipers get trapped in the gorge, where the movie switches to going through generic action set pieces where you can barely tell what's happening. Finally, there's the big twist that the gorge was actually a test site for chemical weapons, and the hollow creatures are actually just people and animals that have been mutated by the chemicals. This twist isn't bad per se, it's just not very interesting, with the reveal of an evil corporation being pretty predictable. The real mystery that the movie should have focused on is what's in the gorge instead of who made the gorge. In summary, The Gorge is a film with an interesting premise, let down by its lack of focus and cohesion. I could see this movie easily being much better in some alternate timeline because the ideas presented in the early sections are really good at hooking you in, but unfortunately it ended up just being another generic, messy action flick. That's all I got for now. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and hit that bell icon to be notified for whenever I make a new video. The next review should be Split Fiction, so if you're interested in that, or interested in supporting the channel more, then turn on notifications and check out my other videos. Okay, that's it. Bye.